Previously, Mahito and Kokichi were having their showdown just after the cursed spirit healed the Jujutsu sorcerer's banged-up body. Then, Kokichi showed up with a massive mecha puppet and used a buttload of cursed energy to fire off the ultimate cannon at Mahito. Now, with his mad agility, Mahito dodges the puppet's colossal attacks. But our guy, Kokichi, ain't one to back down. He knows his usual tricks won't cut it against this slimy foe, so he's got a plan up his sleeve. Mahito is dancing around, dodging the massive attack left and right when suddenly, Kokichi busts out the big gun with a 2-year energy charge, the Miracle Cannon. He blows up the whole battlefield, water and all. But Mahito is not too fazed, except for his crispy clothes, trying to escape maneuver using the surrounding water. Then, Mahito goes Hulk mode and smacks Kokichi hard, and you can practically hear Mechamaru sweating bullets, thinking about what'll happen if this fight drags on. But wait, Kokichi's got a trick up his robotic sleeve. He charges up some technique and sends a projectile flying at Mahito's shoulder. He kinda brushes it off until he realizes his arm is gone. Mechamaru does not miss this chance. He kicks Mahito into the stratosphere, but Mahito isn't done yet. While wondering how he gets badly wounded, he gets up and flies away, trying to hide that missing arm, but Kokichi knows he scored a hit. Even Geto, the seasoned pro, is raising an eyebrow at Mechamaru's slick moves. Mechamaru's not done, though. He fires off the pigeon viola, and Mahito is doing his best impression of a zoo, morphing into all kinds of critters as he tries to dodge the laser show. Mahito is in a tight spot, not even sure what's hurting him anymore. He decides to get crafty and cuts the wires on Mechamaru's head. But guess what? He gets smacked and sent flying. Kokichi figured he got this win on lockdown, loaded up another technique charge, and went for the kill. Suddenly, Mahito busts out his own domain, self-embodiment of perfection, a technique that affects anything it touches. This move disabled Kokichi's puppet totally. The Jujutsu sorcerer probably thought Mahito wouldn't use it because of the planned Shibuya attack, but nope, Mahito is like, 10 days is plenty to bounce back. He thought he'd won, turned around, and bam! Mechamaru stabs him from behind. He reveals he used new shadow style, simple domain to protect himself and wreck Mahito's technique. Mahito goes boom, and it seems like Kokichi's finally exorcised him. Geto's impressed by that simple domain action. But Kokichi's not done, he's got his sights set on Geto. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Mahito crashes through Mechamaru's cockpit. Kokichi tries to fend off Mahito with a regular Mechamaru while he preps another tube. It's a standoff, and they both go for their final moves. But guess what? Mahito gets his hands on Kokichi before he can pull off that tube trick. At Kyoto Jujutsu High, we find Miwa cozied up next to the sleeping Mechamaru puppet. She's all smiles, talking about how the students have become one big happy family since that wild baseball game. Miwa's got big plans and she's set on getting even closer to Mechamaru and promises to pay a visit to Kokichi's real body someday. Little does she know, her dear classmates met his end already. For me, this was the saddest part of this episode, to be honest. After the battle, Mahito is having a little chat with Geto. They're discussing the big brawl they just had, and Mahito is acting all nonchalant. He says he blew himself up on purpose just to mess with Kokichi, like it was a walk in the park. But that's not all because a real bombshell's about to drop. Geto and Mahito spill the beans, all the final preparations for the Shibuya Incident are good to go. It's game on. 10 days later, it's Halloween night in Shibuya, and the clocks just ticked past 7. But instead of trick-or-treating, something weird goes down. A massive 40-meter curtain suddenly drops over the city, like a cosmic party banner, but without the fun. People inside are basically stuck, and the message is clear. They can't leave until Satoru Gojo, the big-shot sorcerer, shows up. Now, here's where it gets interesting. They've got backup, a bunch of jujutsu sorcerers ready to throw down if things go south. We're talking Megumi Fushiguro, Takuma, Kento Nanami, and a whole squad of other sorcerers. The higher-ups give them the lowdown, telling them to hang tight until Satoru sorts things out. Oh, and did I mention the curtain's like a giant dead zone for cell phones? No calls and no texts. But at least the folks trapped inside aren't in immediate danger. Fast forward to 7:31 p.m., and guess who shows up fashionably late to the curtain party? You got it, Satoru Gojo himself. Time to see what kind of trouble's brewing in there. And the episode ends here. If you enjoyed this video, remember to smash that like button and hit that subscribe bell so you can experience the epicness of the next episode. So stick around because we got more Jujutsu Kaisen videos coming your way.